I'm Dana. I'm your host, and welcome back to WeAre Leadership. This is episode 5, and today we're going to hear from the co-heads of A Board, and they're going to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Rosa. I'm a senior. I use she, her pronouns.
I'm Adam. I'm a junior, and I use he, him pronouns.
Who
said that?
Wow, we're off to a great start, guys.
Is this your podcast or my podcast?
Shit, I might leave that.
We can leave it in. We can leave this. It's okay. I want you to be your true, authentic selves. Just don't say certain. No, put it back. So tell me a little bit about A Board. What do you all do?
A Board is the CSW equivalent of student government.
Mm-hmm.
So we draft policies for the student handbook. We take tasks from the administration. We take student requests. We're comprised of 8 grade reps and 2 heads.
Yeah. You all get along?
Yeah.
Most days.
That's good. Okay, so you all are my first committee that I've interviewed. Nobody needs to know that I interviewed you twice already. But tell us with spring elections coming up, what is that like being on a committee, and what has it been like for you?
Wow, spring elections. I think being on A Board
You
for
look like a happy kid that just got a piece of candy.
not another butter. Wow, I felt the tension heat in here, guys. My goodness, we're gonna put sponsored by Nutter Butters in here.
You think they'll sponsor me? Okay, wait, we're getting off track. Go ahead, tell us.
I think thinking about the past 2 years, and especially this year, more importantly, it's been like a rocky road. We've gone through many tribulations and many different things, from personal things to board things to we don't know what we're really doing and there's no direction on what we have to do, and to just winging it. It's taken a lot from us, but we've overcome them. We've found our own way to go about things, and I think that's the best way, for us at least.
I think it's been kind of all-consuming a little bit. It's very all or nothing kind of. And I think, like Adam said, I think we found a way that makes it for us to make it work. But I think it is very person by person kind of.
I feel like A Board is one of the boards that people have a lot of conspiracy theories about. I feel like that's the appropriate word to use. I feel like it's one of the boards. You're laughing because you know it's true. It's one of the boards that receives a lot of pushback. It's definitely a committee that a lot of people don't understand what you all do. What is something that you feel like people misunderstand or misinterpret about A Board?
I think there's a lot of misinterpretation over what A Board's job is, and what our purview kind of is. I think a lot of times, regular student governments are very clear on how they function. They do it all. They're kind of all encompassing. But here we have so many different committees and opportunities for leadership. It's different, and so it's hard for people to understand what necessarily falls under which committee. Kind of.
And sometimes we even have our own questions
absolutely.
on what we do. Right now we're working on a project trying to figure out when we get suggestions, who do we really go to about it? And it's we're still trying to figure out what our point to point description is, but honestly there's never a point to point description. We're so broad and everyone always does everything that sometimes we may get something that we assumed wasn't for us, but then we get clarification it's actually that's your job, you have to do it, or it's the other way. So it's we have to be constantly flexible about what we're doing and how we're handling things, just to keep us going.
You two have had very different experiences on A Board. You was never a rep, and you were. And every year Rosa ran for rep. She was elected as such. How do you think the different experiences allow you all to work together as co-heads?
Well, I was a rep for 3 years, and then I had for 1 year. And I think I had a lot of the like background knowledge that was required to be ahead. And I think Adam had the confidence that was required.
The last episode, we definitely determined you never need the mic, so.
Ahead. Yeah, no, I think because he was able to do that and just run for a position he had never held before on a board he had never interacted with before, I think he brought in a lot of confidence. And I think that was hard a little bit at first, but I think once he kind of realized how a board works and how it's structured, because I don't think he really had any idea when he ran.
I did. I had some.
He had some idea when he ran, but then he never had like practical experience, and so I think once he got a little bit of time like under his belt, I think it ended up being fine.
Yeah, I think coming in, Rosa definitely brought the in-house experience, and I definitely brought the outside out-of-house experience and the outside point of view. And I think that's what made us almost successful in a way, is that we needed those two almost conflicting point of views, just so we can hash it out. Like that's a big part of what we do is hashing things out, whether it's nice, whether it's not nice, whether it's anything but that. And that's just how how we've realized that like we work the best. And so yeah, when I did run, I knew that I was running on a limb, and I ran with simply the confidence, but also my outside of school experience that I ran with, and my background on like the legislative things and boards itself. And so I kind of came in with that outside point of view, and then I was humbled. I was humbled. Me and Elijah had a rough time trying to figure out, because Elijah actually was also, we both were a little bit lost in how we were doing things. But then we got around, we created this strong group last year, and then coming into this year was just running with it.
We're like the Avengers, right? Assemble when you need to.
Oh yeah, the Avengers, the four of us.
Would you say that experience is important when you want to be on a committee? I mean, like, I'm on the board of trustees, and I like have the experience of going to the meetings, but like I've only been in this position for a year. Would you say that experience is important when you want to have a role like similar to the ones that we have?
I think when you come to a school like CSW, not everyone's gonna have the experience, but I think it's also about understanding the role that you're wanting to be in, and also understanding that it's not just a name, it's not just a role. There are going to be things that you have to do and have to accomplish, and you have to live up to those expectations. I know a lot of times when people give their speeches, they list like all of these promises that they want to do, and then some don't really do any of them. So I think it's really about like, if you're coming into this role and you may know that you don't have the experience, but coming in with that mindset of like, okay, but I know I don't have that, but here's what I want to achieve personally, but also here's what I may want to achieve long term in the role as well.
And I think like someone's got to have the experience, or else it all gets completely like lost almost.
An equal balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I have go ahead.
Yes.
I think I have 3. So we have that equal balance. I think it's important in leadership to have some sort of equal balance, because I don't know if this is you all's experience. There are things that drive me insane that I deal with as a leader. And then there are things that might not drive my co-head insane, but they drive me insane. And I think that's genuinely because sometimes you have different mindset. And I want to, going into the things that drive you insane, not insane like crazy, but like things that sometimes like push the envelope for you.
Yeah.
How do you all deal with those conflicts? And if you're comfortable, you can name the conflict respectfully, of course. The both of you just smirked at me. It was like, Jesus. But how do you overcome those specific conflicts if you name them? And what's some advice you would give when you see other people going through the same conflicts?
Well, I mean, of the things that drive me crazy besides my co-ed,
That's what I was gonna say.
I think we've had a couple like interpersonal things on a board itself that we've had to deal with. We've like been to faculty meetings, and we've had lots of backlash there that we've had to deal with, which I think has been challenging for both of us. Like mentally and emotionally challenging, because it's hard. We work so hard on these warrants, and then to take them to take them and show them to people and have them like struck down so definitively and immediately, that's hard. Yeah. Like, it's really hard to not have the regard for the work that we put in. And so I think a lot of the time we have to like almost disconnect ourselves from our work, even though it's so all encompassing, and it's so like you have to be like in it, doing it so well. I think we have to a little bit like take a step back and realize like we're just at CSW.
Yeah. It's
just a board. It's just a policy on like what people wear or what people do with their phones. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
Which I think is hard, but I do think it's what we've had to do.
Yeah, I like thinking about like us personally. Sometimes we like the two of us needed to end up taking a step back and just need our own time to meet. I know we were going from like a board on one day and then meeting with each other 4 days a week because I think that's the time that we needed.
Did you say 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's 5 days in a school week.
Yeah.
You won't meet on Mondays.
Yep.
Yeah, we were going.
There was a period of time.
There was a long period of time where we were meeting for 4 days a week.
You all must be really close.
And later last year, we realized that we need that time, like, to ourselves.
I think to get the dress code done, we needed that amount of time to just, like, work and, like, play with ideas. But I think we've been given a lot of, like, really big projects recently in our time on A-Board. Not so much right now. We're a little quieter than I would like right now. But in our time, I think our time on A-Board is defined by these 2 big projects, right? The dress code and the phone policy. And I think we had to just like we had to sit down and we had to like tackle them, like we had to get it done, just in order to make anything happen.
We're not 2 individuals that like to let things linger till the last minute and then not get them done, so we sometimes take it on ourselves to kind of just wrap it all up.
Nice. Wow, cut that out. When you all think of like the future of A-Board, where it's going, where it could go. I know about this whole like plan thingy you all have, where it's like I don't know.
I don't have a plan.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like I've heard things. Maybe they're incorrect.
Not me.
This one?
No. I have other
I'm
friends.
not a part of the conspiracy theory.
I feel like. Wow, I'm thirsty.
Who has a plan?
I think everybody who wants to be one of you, well, not one of you, but like in a head position has a plan.
One of us.
Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. But like everybody has goals for a space that they're in. There's 9 weeks left in the school year as of April 11th. Where do you see A-Board going after this time?
I think it is whatever the future heads want to make of it, a little bit. Like, I hope they can build off of the momentum we've kind of started and bringing it back to what it's meant to do. But it really honestly is up to whoever's leading it. Like, this is a board that is what you make of it. Like, 500% it is what you make of it. So I think whatever they feel like is important to them.
Yeah. CSW is ever changing, and it will forever be ever changing. And there's never going to be a period of time where there's nothing to do reasonably. There may not be ever another dress code, or that like may not ever happen again. But then again, it could happen again.
Yeah.
So it's just ever evolving and ever changing. And like the next co-heads, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, may be completely different than how we did things and how other people did things. And it's just they're going to have to adapt to how CSW is also adapting.
And every 4 years, it's a completely new school. And so we can't possibly ask for everything to, like, we can't have big goals for A-Board to stay the same. But we can hope that it continues to be effective.
I feel like not even every 4 years. I feel like there's change every
absolutely
5 business days. But it's like so much respect for you two, because I think one of the things that people leave out of leadership is the ability to adapt. I think for the little time that I've gotten to know you through Capstone and stuff like that, and then, yeah.
If you didn't know, she was my peer mentor freshman year.
I've seen. I encouraged him to run for head of A board.
Yeah, that's who you should thank.
You
I
should
thank
too.
you.
Thank you. I've seen you all adapt. Like, I think I've constantly seen so many changes. I've seen the setups for the town meetings. I've seen the Chinese food orders. Shout out to Aaron Hirsch for getting them that Chinese food. I've seen the town meetings, the things that occur during them, and I think you all have not only shifted policies that, in my opinion, have bettered the school in a sense. I think we really needed that dress code policy for the comfortability of a lot of students. I think the phone policy, was a hard thing. I think at first I didn't understand it, but through the multiple town meetings and discussion assemblies, I did learn to grow, and it's benefited me. I get my homework done. I get my classwork done. But where I'm trying to go with this is, a lot of people leave out the fact that to be a leader, sometimes you have to adapt to certain things. And I think one of the largest things that you all have to adapt to is the environment that you're in.
Yeah.
You all are like, I wouldn't say superheroes. Superheroes don't have to adapt. But like, you all are definitely like unreal to me sometimes on how like quickly you all are able to be like, all right, well, they didn't like the wording of this. Let's change this in 60 seconds and put it back up on the screen. Like,
wording is so
yeah.
big.
And like, we can't, that's another thing, like, about stepping back. Like, we can't put ourselves, you can't really have an ego. Like, we have to really
sometimes
detach.
people have to remind you of how amazing you two are.
Like, we cannot have an ego, or else it's going to be like,
well, why don't
there's
you
no,
think this word is right?
We would get nowhere.
Yeah, you'd be stuck. It's like, you all are leaders that are, you're leaders, but you serve such a large community of 312 students, including yourselves. You two have worked together since Adam has been head for 2 years now.
What was that, 23? Yeah, something like that.
Something like
that.
Yeah.
What is one word you would use to describe you? Why are you laughing?
To describe Rosa?
Yes. Say something nice.
Yeah, say something
She's
nice.
a senior.
What can I say?
Live you forever.
What can I say?
Rosa, if you have something, you can go first.
I would say that Adam is very tenacious. Would be my word.
You might have to put a definition of that word up on the screen.
Are you going to explain?
You can put a definition.
I was going to say ever-changing.
Because they're such nice words.
It's actually 2 words.
Ever-changing.
Oh. Look at that! Oh my gosh, that was so cute.
Yeah, that's the one moment we'll have this week, actually.
This is the most time we spent together in weeks.
I know, right? 20 minutes too long. You all get to see other heads and co-heads of spaces work together. What is one student leader on campus that you think goes unseen or underappreciated? What's he looking at?
I'm thinking. I think underappreciated and not really seen.
They're definitely 2 different things, in a sense. They can
Yeah,
be other,
yeah.
but like,
I think definitely underseen is curriculum committee. I think they're often shied away. Like, if I think you've asked a freshman what curriculum committee was, it would be like, he would not be able to tell you.
Hire teachers? I didn't know that.
But-
I gotta get Leah on here.
Yeah, Leah Silver
Yeah.
would be a good one.
Shoot, that was a nice question.
Oh, damn. Hey, nice. But yeah, I think they do so much work, and like, some people don't really see them, but like, when we're going through like the handbook, like implementing stuff, we're like, oh shit, oh wow, look what curriculum committee did, and look at all the different things that they've like added. You're done.
I agree with curriculum committee. I think everyone else is pretty visible.
Yeah.
All things considered. Like, they're the only ones who don't really have like a distinct like thing that they like outward facing thing that they do.
Yeah, and they're closed meetings,
And
so
they're
it's
yeah.
like they don't get to touch grass.
They
Well,
never
huge
wanna work with
respect to
us.
like Leah, because like I think people don't know the hard work that they do, but she definitely makes it known that they exist, and I think that's a power move on her end to put it out there like that.
I also just thought about every board has senior heads except for idea committee. Props to you all.
And you.
No, like at least a senior.
Yeah,
At least
okay.
a senior.
Yeah, you're a senior at heart.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
class of 2025 is not gonna like that one.
Oh, it's my podcast.
We don't own him.
We don't claim Adam.
We don't claim this one.
He's actually not committing till next year. Okay, so who is somebody that you think needs to sit on the couch and be on the podcast?
I think it's your turn to come sit over on this side of the couch. I
Who's
think
gonna interview me if I
We
sit on the
can.
couch?
we can. Oh, you were quick with that one.
It'd be so
Actually,
fun.
I think that'd be a little nice.
Next
Have
episode?
a three-way conversation.
Yeah. We might need tissues for my episode. This is my baby. This is my. Yeah.
It's okay. We'll draft really deep questions.
Well, yeah, we'll
for
make
it.
sure we get.
That'll be your.
That'll be the final.
Wow. Okay.
And you know what your capstone should be?
What?
One last live podcast.
I should do it live.
What?
Oh my gosh, I'm having epiphany.
Having an
An
epiphany.
epiphany.
We could do it right here. People could sit and watch. Guys.
That's like a talk show. That's
Yes. Anyways.
Who do you think should come on the podcast?
How? I agree. I think you and maybe Britta like to hear more about Board of Trustees because
that'd
that's
be
such a
nice
big
pair.
role
I love Britta.
for you guys.
A pair interviewed by a pair.
I love Britta.
Your work wife.
Stop. She doesn't call her that. Yeah. Britta and I are like this.
Yeah.
Cool.
We could give you all some pointers if you want, like on how to be nicer to each other.
Can you please?
Specifically to him.
You know,
Yeah.
It's
be
only
nicer
nice.
to me.
No,
saying
no,
I
I
need to be
wasn't
nicer
saying
to
it
you.
like
Oh.
that. I was saying you should be nicer.
I
to
told Dana what you said to me over text the other day.
What did I say?
me. Oh, this is not the time or the place.
I'm posting it.
You're gonna clip it.
Yeah.
That's actually disrespect. Isn't that like in a policy somewhere?
Yeah, 100%.
All I said to Rosa was that I appreciate her.
You definitely
You're a liar.
never said that.
But yeah, is there anything you want to plug? Next A board meeting.
Yes, we have a discussion assembly
Mm-hmm.
on what day?
The last Wednesday.
May.
Nope.
No, the
Nope.
last Wednesday of the month.
April. One of the days in April.
April 20
We-
something.
Nope, 30th,
Okay.
I think.
Great.
During assembly.
And it's going to be an open forum discussion assembly, which hopefully will demonstrate how far we have come as a community
Get ready to sit
since
by
our first town
advisories.
meetings. Which will be fun, I think, but we'll see.
Full circle moment.
Anything you want to let the people know?
Get ready to sit by advisory. I love it. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is a lovely, characterful episode 5 of We Are Leadership. I thank you all for being here and being nice to each other.
Up top.
Oh no.
All right.
I'm
And
touching you.
I can't wait for you all to see this episode, and I hope that you enjoyed learning from Adam and Rosa. So yeah, and stay tuned for episode 6. Time to go get lunch.
Woohoo!